Gather round, Scouts, and let me tell you about a letter from long ago written to a brave captain navigating the treacherous waters of the Atlantic in the year 1761. This letter was penned by Timothy Fitch, a prominent merchant in Boston, to his captain, Peter Gwinn, who was mid-voyage on a mission to the coast of Africa. Here's how the story unfolds. Boston, 1st November 1761. Sir, this, I hope, will be delivered to you by Captain Spear, who sailed from here last winter with Captain Day in the sloop that loaded at the... When you sailed last from here, they were missing, but soon after you sailed, they arrived here from Gore with about 70 or 80 of the primest slaves that I ever saw in my life. Not one old or child amongst them, but chiefly prime young men and boys. They did not lose one slave in the voyage, nor had they even one sick or mangy person amongst their whole cargo. In short, they were so very likely they sold off immediately at a very high rate for cash down, notwithstanding our market had been so glutted before with slaves. Inquired very particularly of the master his method of managing them, and I think he gave a good and rational account of the matters. In the first place, he took care to purchase none that were anyways ailing or sick. If taken sick on board, he would separate them from the rest. He fed them chiefly upon corn pounded. He didn't approve of much rice by any means. Whenever any mangy or itchy person appeared, he immediately ointmented them with brimstone until he killed it. For the itch or scurvy, being long on them, gets into their blood and breeds other disorders, and so runs through the whole cargo. This may be easily prevented if taken in time. Keeping their spirits up and exercise is good by all means. However, you have seen so much of the nature of the trade that I doubt not you are a good judge of the matter. I hope you will be able to purchase prime slaves chiefly this voyage, as you were early upon the coast and with a good assorted cargo. Should you be so fortunate to get well slaved too early to come to Boston, then South Carolina and Cape Lean must be your market, agreeable to your orders. There is no appearance at present of peace by June. Lay your vessel as secure as you can against French privateers that may be coming down the coast. I have made no insurance yet upon your vessel. I shall wait, hoping to hear from you. Therefore, by no means fail writing to me by every opportunity that presents, by way of the West Indies or any other way, and miss no conveyance. When you write, if you have time, be very particular about what you have done, when you expect to come off, and where bound. This sloop, I hear, is coming directly back to Boston. And in short, such a cargo of slaves as he brought here last would sell here to advantage at any time. Captain Day had like to have been cut off by his own slaves rising. They were forced to fire in amongst them and killed one and wounded another before they could lay them. If you have grown slaves, you must be upon your guard. You may tell Mr. Lennox I have ordered his money paid to his friend agreeable to his orders. Get in all your old debt and what you can of Rand, and be sure to settle as well as you can about Charles. Keep your vessel clean and your slaves, and by all means make dispatch. Should you go to Carolina, sell for nothing but cash, and then make dispatch so as to be here in good season. If you should have any slaves left on hand, Vigneault, I have heard, is a good place to sell slaves, but that you'll hear better about at Charlestown. If you are detained so long as April or May upon the coast, it's best to come to Boston unless Captain Spear the Bearer or some other vessel comes away and gets here before you, which you must guard against. I wish you health and success, and am your friend and owner, Timothy Fitch, P.S. When you write to me by way of the West Indies, direct your letters to the care of the within-mentioned gentleman to be forwarded to me. Barbados, Richdy, Wiltshire Enger, Antigua, Messrs. Mathewson and Gunthorpe, St. Christopher's, Messrs. Henderson and Phillips, St. Eustacia, Isaac Freeman, Guadeloupe, Boutinot and Philly, Nevis, Mr. John Vanderpool, St. Croix, Mr. James Towers, Jamaica, Mr. Thomas Denny, Philadelphia, Mr. Samuel Surt, New York, Samson Simpson, Rhode Island, Mr. Joseph Wanton, South Carolina, Mr. John Savage, Cape, Fear, Capt. Richard Quince. If by way of Europe, to be forwarded by Messrs. Kilby, Barnard and Parker Merchants in London, Tanneries David Lockhart and Son. So, Scouts, that, is the letter sent to Captain Peter Gwinn, filled with advice, warnings and instructions as he navigated the dangerous waters of the Atlantic. This letter gives us a glimpse into the harsh and grim realities of the 18th century slave trade and the perils faced by those who sailed those treacherous seas.